Schedule 1 just got a surprise update today, and while it's technically a patch, the changes it brings are actually pretty huge, so here's everything you need to know. We got this new storage closet that comes in 4 different sizes, and we also got updates to the graffiti system, our dealers, and most important of all, our skin color will now affect our nipple color in the character customization. So it's safe to say that this might be Schedule 1's biggest update yet. Jokes aside, let's get into it because there is a lot to cover. So let's start with the new storage closet. You can purchase these from Dan's hardware store and you unlock it after reaching Bagman 1. These closets contain more item slots than the existing storage racks, and it comes in 4 different sizes, being small, medium, large, and huge. The small closet will hold 6 items, medium holds 8, large holds 12, and the huge one holds a whopping 20 items. However, it is 1 tile thicker than all the other ones, so it's going to stick out a bit more. The current large storage rack we have holds 8 items, so the large closet is going to hold 50% more items while it takes up the same amount of space, so I would say it's worth the upgrade. They also look a little bit nicer too. Now, while these closets are the only new item we got, we did get a bunch of new content added in other areas. For example, you can now catch the Benzies doing graffiti on their own. They'll occasionally spray graffiti at random locations in the world, and you can interrupt them to reduce the cartel influence, and you'll also gain XP. I haven't been able to catch them myself, so I'm really curious to see what they're gonna look like doing this. Also, the whole graffiti system has improved a lot too. Before, you were given 1 shot to make it work, but now there's an undo button that allows you to undo your last sprays, as well as being able to choose from 4 different brush sizes. Another new feature added to the graffiti system is the ability to spray paint your van, which I think is super cool. Now, let's talk about our dealers because there's a lot of changes here. So first off, our dealers can now manage up to 10 customers instead of 8, and all of our dealers will now walk slightly faster, and customers are also going to walk faster when they're heading to a deal. If a dealer is running late, they'll even begin sprinting there now, and they also are only going to book 2 deals per time slot instead of the previous 3, so hopefully they're going to be able to get them all done. The dealer logic has improved for choosing what products to give to a customer, and they'll now reserve items that are needed for deals they've already accepted. And when you go into the dealer app, instead of clicking through each dealer with the little side button, there's now this drop-down menu that allows you to choose the one you want. A little tip I found out is that it seems like this menu is sort of small, so you will need to probably scroll on it in order to see all of your dealers. You can also now see the location for both dealers and customers. This is really important in order to match up the right customers with the right dealers, so they've made that process straightforward now. Before, you would kind of have to go online and find out which customers are best for which dealer, and there was sort of like a conversation around that, but now you just put the right ones with the right locations and I'm sure it'll work okay. If you go over to the Contacts app, you can now find a bunch of useful information about each customer. It now shows their most purchased product as well as their total amount spent for the week. Since this was just added in, there's no data showing right now, but once they complete some deals, this should populate with the new statistics. Also, if you click on one of your suppliers here, it's going to show you the amount of debt you have as well, and you can also find the same number at the top of your messages with them too. Something else that's useful is that dealers can now have a chance to notify you if a rival dealer is attempting a deal. I'm not sure exactly how often this is going to occur, but it is nice to have added in. Now, there is a bunch of miscellaneous changes that are important, so let's cover those now in no particular order. First off, you can boost drying rack speed by placing them in an area with warm temperature. There's also a new particle effect that'll indicate the bud/leaf quality while they're drying. Here you can kind of see these little purple sparks coming off. This makes it really easy to see the quality that the product has reached without having to click on the drying rack. You can also now compensate for inadequate product quality by providing an excess quantity of product, and when you create a new product mix, you're now going to get an XP reward as well. Customer conversations will now automatically be marked as red once their deal has been completed, which is nice, and customers' order timing has been tweaked to be better distributed throughout the day. Now the next change is kind of fun. It says, quote, "The RV explosion now affects players' health." The thing is though, this must only be applicable in a multiplayer server because I don't think you can even really get to the RV before it explodes if you're playing single player. However, it is still cool to have, and I honestly want to see someone get blown up by the RV. As I did say in the beginning, there's been just a absolutely massive change to character customization. So our nipples will now match our character, and I think this might finally be what's going to get me to start a new playthrough. It's kind of like we do have a whole new game now. There's also been some more gritty and grimy textures that have been added to the world, so it should feel a little less clean in some areas. There was also this gigantic list of bug fixes. For example, apparently punching NPCs will now reduce their relationship with you instead of improving it, and honestly I didn't know that I could become best friends with Donna Martin by just beating her ass. Now I won't read off every little bug fix, but I will pop it up on screen and you can just pause to see if there's any fixes that are going to be important to you. I hope this was able to help you out learning what's been added into Schedule 1. So thanks so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.